Hi guys, and welcome to Old Tanks Review. I'm Buddy1927, and today we are reviewing the Tiger 1, which is a Tier 7 German tank in the heavy line. I've enjoyed grinding this tank so far. I will give you a word of warning. The lower tier guns almost gave up because I was not doing any damage. Once I get to the top gun on this thing, mark improvement. I actually have done a lot of damage on these, and now I can see why a lot of people like the Tiger 1. It's not a bad tank. Let's take a look at the tech tree. We'll show you how to get there. We start off with the lawn tractor, is what I call it, to the Panzer II, to the Panzer IIIA, to the DW2, to the VK 30.01H, to the VK 3601H, and you end up at the Tiger 1. Eventually I will be going down this line getting the Tiger 2, which is the Tier 8, Tier 9 E75, and the Tier 10, the E100. From what I've been told from a lot of people, this is actually a good heavy line to go down. They don't have much in the way of armor protection until you get up to the higher tier, but it's a good heavy tank if you learn how to protect the tank, and that's the key to any tank. If you can protect the tank and do less damage, you'll be able to survive the game more. Receive less damage, not do less damage, but receive less damage. You can survive the game a lot better. Okay, this is the heavy tank Tiger 1. The top gun on this is a 88 caliber gun. We'll go over that a little bit later, and I'll explain to you why I chose this 88 over this 88. The top turn on this is a Tier 8. Top radio on this is a Tier 9 radio. The top engine, which I've not researched yet, so don't start making comments, well, you haven't researched the top engine, how can you do a review of this tank? Well, with what I have done so far in this tank, I can review this tank. I've enjoyed this. The Tier 7 engine in this, it's pretty good already. With the Tier 8, you see a big improvement from my friends have told me, but I'm worried about the engine. I'm worried more about what the gun can do and what the overall tank can do. But once you get the Tier 8 engine in this, it's a marked improvement in the speed and mobility of this tank, and it has a Tier 7 set of tracks. Okay, let's go back to the tank itself. This isn't bad. I like the angles on this. There's some things, we'll go over the armor here in a second, but let's go over the overall specs of this gun. And let me blow this up for you. And as you can see, it does have 1,500 hit points, which is actually pretty good for a Tier 7 heavy tank. Horsepower on this is 640 with the Tier 7 engine in it. Top speed with the Tier 7 is 40 kilometers per hour, which is actually pretty fast for a heavy tank. Traverse speed is not the best. It's at 26 degrees per second. The hull front is 100. 88 and 88 armor on the sides. Same thing with the turret, 180 and 80 on the sides. We'll go over the gun a little bit later. The traverse speed on this tank sucks at 18 degrees per second. So if you need to move the turret quickly, you're going to have to spin your tank too to get that turret to move a little bit more quickly. Base view range on this is 380 meters. And as the crew improves, so does your accuracy, your view range. And as you can see, I don't have 100% crew on this. It's only gone up 3 meters. But you can see the better the crew, the better the performance of the view range, and also the better performance of the signal range. Base signal range is 710 meters. Okay. So let's go over the engine here. No, going over the engine. I'm sorry. We're going over the armor on this tank. This is the front hull. It has 100 millimeters of armor in the front. This is a weak spot right here. This is a weak spot right here. This is a weak spot right here. Okay, and I'll show you why. If you take a look, you get this up and down armor. Up and down armor. It's not angled, it's not sloped. So you take a lot of the damage from it. It's a lot easier for the AP rounds to penetrate. When you are facing your enemy, try to get a 30-degree angle on your front. So basically, if instead of being head on, turn it about 30 degrees like that, and you'll see you get a lot more bounces off, and it protects your armor a little bit better. Angling your armor is what I call it. It actually improves the armor thickness of the armor. It's still 100 millimeters of armor, but because of the angle, it actually appears to be a lot thicker, and it's a lot easier to bounce if it's angled than if it's head on. So always try to angle your armor at least 30 degrees. The Loa Glacius has actually a pretty good slope on it. It's still 100 millimeters thick, but with any tank, you always want to protect your belly. So make sure you protect that. The side here, not much protection. You got armor, as you can see, is up and down, straight. Now these skirts are angled here, and yes, you can get some ricochets off the skirts, but it's a skirt. It's not supposed to have that much armor on it. Now the rear of this tank actually has good angle in the rear, but you still only have 80 millimeters of armor. So you need to protect that. Now the turret is basically up and down. It's not really angled. It is rounded, as you can see, and that which will help you a little bit more with ricochets. But you also want to make sure you protect your turret. The cupola on this is a little bit lower than most of the German cupolas because they stay up a little bit higher, but you still want to protect that cupola to make sure that you don't get targeted. And when you're loading your tank, kind of swivel your turret around so that way you can bounce some of those shots a little bit. Okay, well, next thing we're going to talk about is the gun. So let me see. Oh yeah, I need this side first. I got a new system and I'm trying to get everything set up accordingly and get used to it, and I still haven't done it yet. Okay, the top gun on this is an 88 caliber gun, tier 8. Rounds per minute is 8.9 seconds. Average pin on this is 230, 237, and 44. Average damage on this is 240, 240, and 295. 0.34 at 100 meters. So this gun is actually pretty accurate. So where you aim is where that shell is going to go. Aiming time is not the best at 2.7 seconds. This carries AP, APCR, and high explosive shells. So that's the gun. Now, you got two 88s to choose from. Let me just pull this to the side here. Let me pull up the other one. Okay, and we're going to compare the two 88s together. You got the 36, which is the tier 7, 36L 56, and then you got the 43L 71. Both are 88 millimeters. Rate of fire on the 36 is actually 10.91 seconds, which is a little bit faster than 8.96, about 2 seconds faster, a little less than 2 seconds faster. But you can see the average pin. Take a look at the average pin. 132, 171, and 44 compared to 203, 237, and 44. That's why I'm choosing, of course, I'm going to choose one with a bigger pin. 2 seconds I can live with. I can take care of that by adding a couple things, by adding a loader, and the gun rammer, and also grinding my crews up to help increase the load time, decrease the loading speed. Sorry, I'll get it straight one of these days. Average damage is 220, 220, and 270 on the 36, and 240, 240, and 295 on the 43. Aiming time is a lot better on the 2.3 seconds compared to 2.7 seconds on the 43. Both carry AP and all that. That's why I choose this gun overall. It is the best gun when playing. Now, some of the times, the Top Gun is not always the best gun, and that's I want to go over because I know I'll have some people in the forums and on the YouTube page to saying, well, there's 288s. Why don't you use the other one? Has a quicker reload. Yes, it does have a quicker reload, but the Top Gun actually does better penetration. On the Matilda, the middle gun is actually better for the Matilda than the Top Gun, because the Matilda, the middle gun, has a faster fire rate, which is pretty good, but also has a higher pin rate compared to the Top Gun. So I can do more damage and do more penetration with the middle gun than I can with the Top Gun. Sometimes the bigger is not always better. So you want to take a look at the guns and compare them and see which actually suits you better and how you're going to end up playing the tank. So those two guns put aside, it's actually pretty good. I do carry vents, which gives me a +5 to my crew skills, which means my load time will increase, my aiming time will increase, my accuracy on the gun will increase, and my driver skills will increase. Okay, and other skills will also increase on there. I do carry the gun rammer, which takes 10% off my loading time. So that means my loading time actually decreases, which means I can fire more rounds per minute. And the enhanced gun lane drive, because the gun I chose for this is the Top Gun. The aiming time does suck. This gives me increases my aiming time by 10%, so it will be quicker for me to aim by using this, along with the vents, which will give me a +5 to my crew skills, plus grinding the crews themselves. So that's the reason why I have those equipment on here. One other thing, and I know I've said this before, but I always recommend, if you are going down a particular line, this is the Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the low. Since I am going down the German heavy line, this is a good way to actually help grind your crew up and also make credits. What I do is I will end up putting my crews in here to grind once I get excuse me here, my tongue is covering my eye tooth, I can't see what I'm saying. Okay, what I do is when I have my ×2, I'll run the ×2, run my Tiger 1 until I get the ×2, then drop my crew, because that's the tank I'm grinding on right now and trying to grind those crews up, and then put the crews on this low until I get my ×2 knocked off on the low. Then I'll put my crew back on the Tiger 1 until I get everything researched. Once I get everything researched here, then I will keep my crews, get my ×2 off the Tiger 1, then put my crews back onto the Tiger, to the low, because with the low I get more experience and I also get more credits by playing that. And with crew acceleration checked off, all that experience goes to my crews, so it helps grind them up quicker. So that way I can get a good solid crew on here and get the crew signed up, and the tank actually improves a lot better. So I recommend, if there's a premium tank in that line and you are definitely going down that line, get that premium tank to help grind up the crews. That's just my suggestion. It's worked for me so far. Unfortunately, I have the Tier 10 American TD. There's no premium tank for there, so I have to grind that tank, and it's a lot harder to grind a tank in the crew, in the tank that they're actually working with, because you only get so much experience per battle With a premium, you get extra experience in extra actually extra. Um, what do you call them now? Yeah, you actually get actual credits. You get more credits by playing the premium tanks. So I do have this tank in action. So let's take a look at the clip. I will see you all on the other side. Hi guys, and welcome to World of Tanks Free Plays. I'm Buddy1927, and today I'm on my Tiger 1 Tier 7 German tank, and the map we're on is Live Oaks. We got a 62% chance of winning according to XVM. I'm going to speed things up until we get some targetings. This is patch 9.3. Cromwell wanted me to follow him. I'm going to go down a different route. Okay. They're shooting at stuff. I don't see anything spotted except for in the city, so I don't know what they're shooting at other than what they're doing is making themselves exposed, because when you shoot, you blow your camouflage. Okay, so I'm just basically going to sit here wait until we get something spotted. I'm not going to push myself around, because if I take a look, actually parallel. There we go, we got a target. He shoots, he missed. Now we got two people shooting at me. I got somebody on the island. I'm just going to take a blind shot because he has not been spotted. And I'm just backing up. And he's just popping the heck out of me. I've had my ammo racked. I've been hit a total of 12 times so far. I'm down to 748 hit points out of the 1,500 damage, but I got out of view range, and I see where most of the tanks are now, so I'm actually going to take another route since I've been spotted and see what I can do. Go help the Cromwell and that KV3. And we're going to press over the hill, and we're going to see if we can do some damage once we peek over. Now I'm going to try to do the damage on the tanks that I can see. Now that light tank, I took a blind shot once he went dark. We're going to see if we can get a little bit more. Here we go. We've got a medium tank. The EZ2 hit him. Hit him, and I refixed my ammo rack, so my speed is up, and took him out. Took him out. So I took out two main guns so far. Took a blind shot at where the last TD was. I know I got a T-29 below me, but I don't really have a good shot on him. I'm trying to do damage to the tanks I can actually hit. I got no... Oh, there. I had a shot. I'm not going to worry about him right now. Now, the two tanks that were with me, or the three tanks that were with me, they all got taken out. But now I'm going to see if I can actually do some damage here. I got a heavy tank on the other side, KV3 on the other side. Got a T-29. I'm going to see if I can get in position to take some pressure off the KV3. Here's the T-29. Hello! I surprised him. He's more worried about him, so I'm going to keep hitting him in the buttocks. and he's taken out. Distracted him enough and did some damage to him, so the KV-3 was able to take him out. Now the score is 14 to 8. 14 to 11. So now we just got the one tank left. TD's concentrating on me, while the KV-3 is actually going to do the damage on him. Non-penetration, but that was the last tank on there. And as you can see, that definitely was a victory overall. Basically, I shot a total of 14 times with 10 penetration for a 71.43. You can see I actually damaged, a total of 5 tanks overall. There we go. I'm trying to figure out why that didn't show up. Okay. I did top damage overall with 1,802 damage, 2 kills. The KV-3 that was on the other side of the valley with me, the other side of the berm, he did 1,513. So together we actually did the most damage on that line. That Tweet 29 did 2,224 and 2 kills, and I ended up taking him out. So overall it was actually pretty good. So the Tiger 1 is actually a pretty good tier 7 tank. I've enjoyed playing it. As you can see in that battle, it can also take a lot of damage overall. I've enjoyed playing the tank so far and have had actually some pretty good success with it. I play a ton of Pogue matches, that's why, and I just get on teams that suck, but I also get on some good teams. So overall, I enjoyed playing World Tanks. Overall, I enjoyed playing this Tiger 1. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you do, please like us on YouTube. If you get a chance, check out my channels. Check out my other videos on my other channels, and subscribe to my channel. That way you know when the latest video I do comes out. I am starting a new series called My Real Life, and I will have the video hopefully up the same day as this one, so check it out. I'd like to thank you again for watching, and you all have a good day. Save some tanks on the battlefield for me.